Alright, hey guys, Simon here, and this time we are going old school. This is Gothic. Gothic was made back in 2001. For comparison, Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind was made in 2002. So this was 1 year before Morrowind. And Gothic is one of my favorite games of all time, but not for any good reasons. So, I mean, objectively, it's a good game, but it has some serious problems with it. But I have very fond memories of this game. But I'll go into that as we play. Let's just go straight into it. New game. Oh, if you want to play this game on a modern computer, you need to go to compatibility mode and set it to run as administrator. Otherwise, it won't run.
The kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. Against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Khorinis. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Khorinis was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day, another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well, I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you!
Keep silent. Right. Send him in.
Ah!
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram. Get up.
Man, those graphics.
I'm Diego.
I'm
not interested in who you are. You've just arrived. I look after the new arrivals. That's all for now. If you plan to stay alive for a while, you should talk to me. But of course, I won't keep you from choosing your own destruction. Well, what do you think?
So all of that backstory doesn't actually make any difference at all to the game. Like, there's a big long cutscene and then it doesn't actually matter what you do here. Let's just talk to this guy. He gives you a lot of information to start you off.
okay. What do I need to know about this place?
We call it the colony. You'll know already that we produce ore for the king. Well, at least we do, in the old camp. There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest, and it was the first.
How do I get to the old camp?
You just follow this path. The old camp is the next reasonably safe-looking place you'll come across. There are a lot of wild beasts between the camps. You'd be mad to walk around without a weapon.
Where do I get a weapon?
When you get to the old mine, have a look around. I'm sure you'll find something useful. The mine is easy to find. It's just a few meters along the canyon.
Why did you help me?
Because you needed help. Otherwise, Bullet and his boys might have killed you. And I couldn't just stand by and watch, because I came all this way to make a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Yes. After this little incident with Bullet and his guys, you should be aware now that you need protection. Everyone who arrives here has a choice. There are 3 camps in the colony, and you'll have to join one of them. I'm here to show the new ones that the old camp is the best place for them.
Where's Bullet now?
He and the others bring the goods from the outside world into the camp. You'll find him there, but if you plan to fight him, be careful. He's an experienced warrior.
I have a letter for the High Magician of the Circle of Fire.
Really?
I was given it by a mage shortly before they threw me in here.
You're lucky I can't afford to show my face around the mages anymore. Anyone else would gladly slit your throat for that letter. That's because the mages pay their couriers a lot, and most people here don't have anything. If I were you, I'd shut up until I met one of the mages. Although in your situation, that's not likely to happen.
Why not?
The mages are in the castle in the old camp. Only Gomez's people are allowed to enter the castle.
Who's Gomez?
Gomez is the most powerful ore baron. He's the boss of the old camp, the most powerful man in the colony.
Let's assume I want to join his people. What do I need to do?
At the gate of the castle, you'll find a man called Thoris. Tell him Diego sent you.
Thanks for your help.
We'll meet in the old camp.
And then the game starts. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna save the game. This game does not have autosave and it tends to crash. So we're gonna go here, start, right. And then we're gonna save the game again. And we call this 1. So we're gonna maintain multiple saves because the game can crash, it can glitch out. You can do a stupid thing and get yourself stuck, so we're gonna maintain quite a few save games. So I compared this game with Morrowind, saying this was 1 year earlier than Morrowind. This is an open world RPG, open world action RPG. And, you know, in a lot of ways, this was my kind of the first game of this type that I played, and I was amazed. The first time I kind of ran around the open world, we're not there yet. When we get out of this valley in that direction, we'll get to the open world fairly soon, and it was amazing being able to just kind of run around and do whatever you like. So this was the first game of this type that I played, and you know, for a lot of people Morrowind was like their defining RPG that they kind of, you know, kind of displayed to everyone the potential of the genre. For me it was this game. And when I played Morrowind, it was like, oh, this game is kind of like Gothic, this must be good. So for me, this was the first kind of open world RPG that I played. And of course there's a lot of open world games these days, and it's nothing, you know, special. But this game, Gothic, it really kind of set the... I feel like it set the mold for the rest to follow. I don't know if that's accurate or not. The controls are quite awkward. I mean, you don't have to deal with the controls because you're just going to watch me play. But the controls are kind of awkward, and you might see it at some point. Also, you'll find me kind of wandering around and doing strange things. Because I've played this game several times before, I kind of know all the secrets and all that. So I don't, you know, walk along the paths usually. Let's talk to this guy.
What are you doing here?
Making sure no one gets near the exchange place, especially one of those cutthroats from the new camp. You're the new guy they chucked in today, right?
That's me.
Then you'd better watch out for the guys from the new camp. I work for the old camp, same as the others you saw at the exchange place. I assume you've talked to Diego.
Yes, I have.
Good. Then you know what's what around here.
Awesome. Awesome voice acting.
Why do I have to watch out for the guys from the new camp?
Compared to the new camp, the old camp's a quiet, peaceful sort of place. The new camp doesn't get any deliveries from the outside world. Most of the rogues there just steal whatever they need.
And the old camp?
The ore barons have everything under control. Next in line to them are the guards, followed by the shadows. The diggers are the lowest. Everyone who arrives here starts out as a digger. If you want to become something better than that, you'll have to get accepted as a shadow first.
So to tell you what's going on here, this is useful.
When I was washed ashore, one of the guys punched me in the face.
They do that to all the newcomers. They call it standing godfather.
Oh, are all the guys like that in the old camp?
We do have a few suckers, but they won't touch you as long as you pay them protection money.
I saw a woman being sent down with the goods.
Yeah, the ore barons get everything they want.
Do you mean to say the king exchanges women for ore?
They're convicted criminals too, of course. But if Gomez hadn't asked for them, they'd be sitting in some dungeon or other. I'm not sure what's worse.
I'm looking for a weapon.
There should be some old weapons by the derelict mine, further down the canyon. But don't go and start a war with nothing but a rusty pickaxe for a weapon. Those things are slow and heavy. An inexperienced fighter should never use one of them unless it's an emergency. You'd better make sure you reach the old camp in one piece.
Alright, so he gives you a lot of information, stuff that I don't really care about because I already know it. But you guys might find it interesting. What else do I need to say before we get really far? So there's an exploit. If you're falling from really high up, and you press strafe, which is A and D, like strafing, you can negate the fall damage, which is kind of awesome. And it's also kind of an exploit. Well, actually, it's definitely an exploit. So I've been doing that a little bit, actually a lot in this game, because I don't really want to bother with falling. So you're not supposed to be able to do that, obviously, it's an oversight in the game design. But we're going to exploit that quite a bit. Also, we're killing these bugs for experience and meat. We need the experience more than anything. It's not very much experience, but this game really runs on experience, and the only way to get more powerful really is to get more experience. And there's a limited number of... Actually no, for most of the game there's a limited amount of experience you can get. So the monsters you kill, or the creatures you kill, they don't respawn. New ones do spawn in their place, a few of them, but there is kind of an upper limit to the number of experience points you can get, except for one part near the end of the game where you can get unlimited experience. Like there's a switch, or there's like a puzzle. If you fail the puzzle, then monsters will spawn, and that's the only place where you can get infinite experience. Everywhere else you kind of you're limited. So I'm just gonna walk over here, pick up this thing, and then run away. So that's a mole rat. That pink thing is a mole rat. I'm just going to equip this sword. So I know exactly what the weapons are, especially at the start. So rusty sword, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to save the game, because that's a mole rat. And at the start of the game, mole rats are dangerous. In fact, it's not even a proper rodent, it's a juvenile mole rat. It can kill us if we're not careful, but since we know what we're doing... There we go. Before I started recording, I kind of went back and played the game a little bit, just to remind myself the awkward control scheme. The control scheme definitely is awkward in this game. So I'm gonna pick up everything. There's a limited number of loot, limited amount of loot, and a limited number of experience points you can get. So we're gonna pick up every single thing. I'm gonna kill every single thing that we can. We're not gonna be able to kill the more powerful enemies until later on, but for now this is what we're gonna do. So I don't know if you guys are okay with that, because a lot of the time we're gonna spend just kind of grinding it out and hunting things. But the good thing is, it's not repetitive, because things don't respawn right? So it's not going to be all that repetitive. We're going to be killing unique creatures, as it were, or each creature is there. Once you've killed it, you don't do the same thing again. So it's not that exciting a lot of the time, but it's definitely not repetitive as such. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up the most powerful weapon we can get at the start. There's a plateau up there which we can climb up to, but there's also a goblin up there, and before we get up there we're going to get a slightly better sword, because at this point, with no armor at level 1, goblins are deadly at this point in the game, so we're going to get every advantage we can get. I think that's only... yeah, that's all the stuff we have around here. Alright, we're gonna... is this the sword? Alright, old sword. So we're gonna take the old sword, might as well pick up the berries and... should we kill these two things? Alright, let's kill these two things as well. So the rusty sword is... you can see that 10 damage, required strength 5. So this thing is 12 damage, so it's got 2 more damage. I'm gonna save the game again, because everything is deadly at the start. You don't wanna mess around. So walk up. The combat is really awkward. I don't know if I should bother explaining the control scheme. So you've got the movement, WASD. To attack, you have to hold the mouse button down and then press a direction, and depending on which direction you press, you swing the weapon in a different way. So if I kind of do this, hold the mouse down, press left, right, forward, right, forward, okay, stop the combo there. So there are certain combos you can do if you get the rhythm down properly. So the combat is not easy, and I don't know if that's like by design or if just kind of bad controls, but the combat is not easy. Okay, this is not gonna... so I just kind of swung at this guy and it didn't hit him. You see that? Like, he was slightly below me on the slope there, and the first few times I swung at him, it didn't hit him because he was underneath my sword when I was swinging it. So the combat really is awkward. But I guess that's part of the challenge? I don't know, I'm not gonna make excuses for this game, it's not a good game. Like, the controls are bad in this game. The design and the story and the quest and the stuff is pretty interesting. Controls are probably the least well done of everything in this game, but it's fairly good, considering it's 2001. Did I pick up this stuff? Yes, I did. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna go up there. We go this way. I'm gonna pick up this plant. So yeah, I've memorized the start of the game, so I know this off by heart. And I know quite a lot of the game. I've got it memorized too, so you're gonna see me basically exploit every single thing I can. I'm just gonna save again.